Now, the next man that you're going to hear from is someone who I've worked with for the last, just over a year now. And he's the only person in the House of Commons that truly works for the people. He does more than earn his salary. This man works himself to exhaustion to fight for the people. And I've stuck by Andrew because his work is amazing, and I'm proud to say that I work with this man. And all of you should be proud to be stood here today. And there was an article in the Times newspaper that said that Andrew Bridgen had been radicalised by a conspiracy theorist anti-vax cult. Well, I'm proud to be part of that cult, guys, and you're all in it as well. So can everyone please make a massive round of applause for Andrew Bridgen? Yeah.
There's an old saying, speak your truth, see who hangs around, and you've found your tribe. Well, I spoke my truth, and I found my tribe. Thank you very much for being here today. We are truly living in remarkable times. I didn't join up to be an MP for any of this. I came into Parliament to improve the lot for my constituents and in Northwest Leicestershire and the rest of the country. What we have now is a Parliament who are not acting in your interests, not in your family's interests, and not in my interests either. And the sharp end of the stick is the vaccine harms. I've spoken out now for 18 months. Let's not forget, they threw me out of the Conservative Party, and on the day that I walked out, they said to me, Andrew, there is currently no political appetite for your views on the vaccines. There may well be in 20 years' time, and you're probably going to be proven right. But in the meantime, you need to bear in mind that you're taking on the most powerful vested interest in the world with all the personal risk for you which that will entail. And they weren't creating. I researched last year. You'll remember the thalidomide scandal. Thalidomide was created by a German company, Chemie Grünenthal. It was marketed as medication for pregnant women to stop morning sickness, anti-nausea. It was marketed, its marketing slogan was safe and effective. Safe and effective. It was withdrawn in 1961 just because of obviously the clear side effects. 60% of the fetuses affected would have died, and 40% were born with terrible abnormalities. I looked at some papers from the European Court in Strasbourg. 3 judges concluded in the 70s that consecutive speakers of the House of Commons had stopped all debate and questions about thalidomide for 11 years. The drug was withdrawn in 1961. The first time anyone was allowed to mention the word thalidomide in the mother of all parliaments was 1972, before any compensation for the victims. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this scandal we're in now around the vaccines is bigger than thalidomide. It's bigger than anything we've had before. And I'm not going to let it be 11 years or the 20 years that the Conservative Party and Parliament want to cover this up so they can cover their tracks before it's brought to the public attention. People are waking up. And the longer it goes on before Parliament accepts that a huge mistake has been made, the bigger the damage and the longer it's going to take us to recover. But people are waking up. In a survey in America in January, over half of all Americans believe that the vaccines have taken the lives and seriously harmed a large number of people. They're also perpetuating this man-made global warming net zero scam. Who thinks we need a bit more global warming today? Why do they think you're going to go along with something that's going to make you poorer, make you colder, and take away your freedoms. And not only take away your freedoms, but take away the freedoms of your children and your grandchildren. We're not going to stand for it. It doesn't make sense. It's anti-science again. But the science doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. All the evidence is there of the vaccine harms. I've had 3 debates on that in the House of Commons. The evidence is all there for anyone to do their own research. I've laid it out for parliamentary colleagues. And I must admit, I'm feeling, although I've been an MP for 14 years next week, and I've given thousands of speeches, I am feeling a bit intimidated today, because I'm not used to speaking to this many people anymore, am I? That's 12 months. And you're not trying to run out the back door as soon as I stand up. The evidence is there. People are waking up. We've got to change the whole system. We all know there's huge problems. Our democracy's not working, and mysteriously it's not working anywhere around the world either. Everyone's in lockstep. They all agree on net zero, they all agree on the pandemic response. They're all going to sign us up for these WHO instruments and take away what bit of representative democracy we've got left. They're all sexualising their children in schools with inappropriate material. They're all pushing the trans ideology onto our children. I think that's the final test, you know. When they can tell you, and you believe, that a man can be a woman and a man can have a baby, they know the propaganda's worked on you. They don't need to do any more propaganda on you at that stage. You're fully on board with everything they've got. Now, we all know there's huge problems, but you don't want problems. The job of politicians is to bring solutions. And the answer, well, talk about politics. Why do we need politics? What we need is policies that are going to make life better for you and for the future generations, make people happier, make people more prosperous, make people more secure. We only really need politics when they're selling you snake oil, and they've been selling you snake oil for decades, and it's got to stop. The answer is the current system of democracy, so-called, in this country is broken. The party system is completely corrupt. I've come to the conclusion, I'm going to stand as an independent in Northwest Leicestershire. I'll tell the people in Northwest Leicestershire, you can either have an MP who represents you in Parliament, or you can have an MP in a party who represents that party in your area. But you can't have both. You've got to choose which one you want, and I hope they'll choose to have an MP who will stand up to the establishment in that Parliament. But the long-term answer is we need direct democracy. We need the people to take back control. If it was up to me, what I would do is I'd get rid of the House of Lords straight away. They are, as a second chamber, that is where you pay people off with their favour for serving the party. They're not there to serve the people, and they've done nothing. They've never stood up for the people and shouted out about the harms that's been done. They have a perfect platform. They don't even have to. They can't be got rid of, and they don't have to stand for re-election. So get rid of the House of Lords. Get rid of half of all the MPs. We don't need 650. 325 is far. It's enough people to watch, to be honest. No external interest whatsoever. Once you're elected, you serve the people. And every 4 times a year, all the major legislation is put to referendums, and you, the people, get to vote whether you want those laws or not. That's taking back control. That's the future we can have. The Swiss have had that for over 75 years. Their averages, they're twice as wealthy as the average Brit, and they haven't been to war in any of that time. That's the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving forward. The tribe is getting bigger. People are waking up. The establishment are panicking. I can see the fear in their eyes, and they need to have as many sleepless nights going forward as they've given us. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you.